Welcome to an official look at the beta version of the unit creator coming to tabs later this year. At the end of this year. It's true, guys. If you own the Steam version of tabs, you can gain access to this too. They tell you the steps in the update section or whatever. And yes, it's here, and I played with it myself. Let me show you guys. Yeah, as you can tell, each of the factions now comes color coordinated with this coming updated. I thought that was fancy, but also, you may notice, we got all this, but then we got, what is this, a Clam Army? Is this a new faction? No, guys. Oh, it doesn't save. Alright, as you can see here, sorry. Okay, I actually have my own. Alright. As you can see, sorry, there's a fly in my room. Everything here, I created off camera. Now, why, may you ask, are they called the Clam Army? Let's try this again. I didn't realize it didn't save. In fact, let's go to one of the campaign levels, and I'll show you guys there. I show you. They're called the Clam Army because they have clam sounds, and they also have clam helmets. And you know, they notice their clothes are a little bluish, kind of like the ocean. And as you might notice, some of their weapons may look, you know, aqua colored. I might try to develop some lore with this. I did this level already, so let's find a good level to test them on. Now I can show you everything. The Clam King, the Clam Champion. I can only show two. Obviously, the champion is bigger because he's a champion. And he carries a large sword. The Clam King does the same, but it's a little more fancier looking. The issue with this is that you can't color all the weapons. Only certain ones. This one is. This one isn't. He wears a sea crown, as he is the king of the clams. And it's pretty amazing. Not only you can create the units, you can also customize their abilities. As you can see, he's got shout, and he's got some sort of slam attack, or it's a headbutt, I think. And look at that. He freezes the units in place, and then it just kills them. Honestly, it seemed fitting to make him the strongest unit. He can, like, stutter his units in place, so he can prepare his ultimate move. I gave them some dodging moves, because it only seemed befitting. And they took care of the king. Now you wonder, I gave them a good amount of health, because obviously they're champions. But there's also the Clam Knight and the Clam Wizard. The Wizard's a special one. Clam Soldier, Clam Archer, Clam Scout, and Clam Grunt. Obviously, the Clam Grunt's the smallest. He wields a fish. He's pretty much like Halfling, but he's actually a little bit stronger than the Halfling. Not too strong, though. The Scout, obviously, he has like a dagger. He has the Jester Dagger. And the Knight carries a Knight's Sword, obviously, and has a helmet. I kind of based their armor more, some of their armor, some of the characters' armor with the ancient faction, or Roman, or Greek, whatever you want to call it. The Archer has a poacher bow. He fires a bit faster than a normal archer. The Legionary, which has a long-range spear. And the Knight, who carries a double-sided sword. Obviously, I can't color it, but it's amazing. It's glorious, guys. And the Clam Wizard, I made him the most special. Not only can you use the Wizard's staff, that's just like the Wizard from the Legacy faction, but he can also throw clams. Yeah, I know. It's pretty amazing, right? I was gonna do that for every unit, but I thought it'd be for him since, you know, I thought it was special that way. Look at his little wizard hat. And let's watch them go. All I remember is it's just one Knight in this. That's just getting healed a bunch. I want to see if I can take control of the... I'm gonna try and see if I can... And attack the... Like we took care of their knight already, yeah. And there you have it. That's how it goes. Now there's actually one unit I want to test out, and that's... Oh, they changed up the... Oh yeah, it says beta. They changed up the Jarls. Legionary is supposed to be long ranged. Now, obviously, they need a Clam King to help them out. So the king took his legionaries into battle. As you would. And as you can tell, I'm a bit silenced to see where this goes. I'm anticipating this. As you can tell, I think the Jarl has like the enrage ability. Now, as you can tell, it seems like my guys are getting beaten up a lot. And you think, hey, maybe I should give them assistance. And I'll show you the enemy making, or the process of making a unit. Now you want to think, how do you set the voice? You just go. You can set the voice. And since they're a Clam faction, they gotta sound like the Clam unit. And since this is gonna be a strong, and you think, well, what should I give? I have all these options right here. Even these ones, and these are a few of the interesting ones. Aztec. There isn't actually a faction about it, but it really makes you think, could there have been a faction? Sometimes you gotta give it to him a couple times so he... They even got things from their other game, Totally Accurate Battlegrounds. Which means you can actually give your guys a minigun. An actual minigun, not the bad Gatling gun that those guys wield. You can actually probably create a faction of, like a modern faction with this stuff. They have Viking and they also have Wild West. Now, thinking, what should we go for? I think, honestly, this one's gonna be... When I'm thinking I'm changing my mind, I'm gonna make him a melee unit. And he's gonna wield. I have an idea for this, but I don't know what to go for. So obviously, you got all these options, and I can't make up my mind. There's so many... Well, let's say the flaming sword. And I can also change the color of the blade, actually. And I decided to go with this, a different color for them. Alright. And once you finally have made up your mind, you can go into here. And you can, well, I want this one to be a special... It's gonna be like a god, you know? It's gonna be a clam god. You'll have Thor Lightning. You know that? You've seen that, Thor, that happens. And you notice the Vlad Impel. It's a new ability for Vlad. He raises spikes from the ground, but I don't know if... And it's fine, there's many options. We'll say big headbutt. I think I have regular headbutt on my other character then again. And this is where you can customize your character. It's so many options.
One eternity later.
You're wondering what's the difference between Super Boxer and Super Peasant? I don't know. Well, let's give him Dark Peasant size. That seems like a godly thing to give him. And you can really see the diverse customizations. Obviously, these are subject to change. There's just so many options. I have a few ideas for some of these. There's just many ideas, and there's probably more coming. And I'll say this one. And then in this, you can even customize in here. And I like to go for the customization I've been going for. Do the same for the torso and everything else. And once you finally customized your character, that actually took me a little longer than it should have. Maybe one more arm accessory. And there's nothing wrong with taking a little long, although I felt like it took me a little longer than it should have. Because there's so many options, there really is. And then this is where the good stuff comes. You can change the size of your character. Now I want him to be bigger, because he's a god. And obviously he's gonna have 1,000 health, because he's a god. Make it a little slower. Balance purposes. And you wonder, what is the maximum height for this? It goes up to 100, I think. And what does it cost? Yeah, I'm just gonna say around there. I was gonna say like 3,500 for balance purposes. I think we'll stick with. And there we go. And then you can take his picture. And then you save the unit. It's as simple as that, guys. And then we'll do that campaign level again. And this time, the odds will be in our favor. I was hoping we'd be able to afford them. We will. If you want a size comparison, this is... Well, I might have made him as tall as my champion. Hold on, I gotta check this. He is still slightly taller. I'll make him a little more taller. Kind of just holds the clam. I should make some clam healers. I will probably do that next. I'm gonna give him some archers to help him take down these guys. And he's just gonna lead the clams into battle. He can send clams, and he can strike thunder. Now, it's not strong, but it's not insanely strong. Yeah, there you go. Now he'll stamp into battle. Now, if he somehow loses, then I'm probably going to do some editing around. Because I wasn't sure if I kept his unit. Okay, he won. I was making sure if he lost, then that wouldn't have been an issue. I'm going to check his stats still, though.
A few moments later.
No. Stick with me here. I know we just created a unit, but I just realized we probably don't have like a cleric. And he's gonna be a little bit smaller. He's gonna target closest friend or most expensive, least health friend. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see, cleric. Yeah, that'll happen. You know what? Let's it's gonna be a... yeah, actually, ancient shield. Then we can color. Truly and utterly honest. Is there anything wrong with it? No, I think he should. Not too much health. But just enough for combat. A little bit taller. Not too much. Not too much. Just a little bit. We'll say 400. Obviously, I forgot to color this thing. I apologize. That is my bad. There we go. Now that looks a little more fit. Yeah. That seems to be fitting. Well, actually, we'll say 375, actually. And then, add him. I'm gonna resort this list out. Alright. Grunt, Scout. There. Now we have a cleric who can heal our soldiers. And we can go back to where we were. Squire. So it's not here to test it. Just gotta beat. You gotta just beat the guy there. Now we can just test the cleric, and he will heal them. I'm gonna take control of this guy. And he can attack with his shield. That's probably better for close range combat. Now, obviously, if I wanted to take control, and he can hit with his shield too. If he has to. Obviously, it's a two-handed thing, so I probably need to switch out the things. Obviously, we would have won that. Alright, I'm gonna just switch out his shield. Everything's fine but the shield. It's usually how it goes. Yeah, Centurion will do. The issue with Centurion is, for some reason, it can't be colored. Obviously, they'll fix these in the bugs. Centurion for that. Alright, forget it. We'll just stick with the... There, we got a crazy-eyed cleric for our thumbnail character. A few catapults, and by a few, they mean a lot. I don't know why I thought that was interesting. We gotta overwhelm the catapults, you know. We had to overwhelm them. Currently, there's not really a variety of rideables. There is a type of rideable function, but it's not what you think it is. It's even more powerful. Though you could make an overpowered unit and be able to use it in any faction or any section that allows you to do so. What I'd love is to make it a nice giant-like unit. Closest I can get is the Clam God. I can make a large unit, but it's the body type I want. I'm gonna take control of the champion. And obviously that didn't last long. You're not gonna be afraid. Because obviously clams can strike down lightning, you know? That seems kind of obvious. It is obvious, I guess. That's how you do it. Got him right in the back. Alright. I should probably take my thumbnail and probably close off the video, unless it's not too long for it. I suppose it's worth subscribing and hitting that notification bell, maybe to see more factions of what I can create. You can suggest what I should create. There's a lot of things I'm thinking of creating, but you guys can also suggest. I'm still probably gonna make a few more couple units for the Clam faction. Now, really, the Clam faction's more like an Atlantis faction, you know? There's like an Atlantis species, you know, the lost city of Atlantis, under the sea, that sort of thing. I'm gonna line them up a little more closer. But that alone is a fearsome sight to see. You wouldn't want them face up against these guys. My imagination's pretty crazy, I'll admit that. Now let's watch as they take down a mammoth. Say, would they lose any troops? I guess we would have. Yeah. That guy was just stomped to the grave. Did he live at all? I can't even see his face. Oh, no, well, hold on. Actually, he might be still alive, because he was still holding his weapons. The answer is nobody knows, honestly. And yeah, the grunt who wields a fish, because why not? He wields his own kind. Now you're wondering, what would it take to take down a faction like this? If there was one of each and every one of them. Now what if we pit them up against each faction? With one of each of their units. Or a few extra because, you know, the pricing thing. To make it a little more equal. I almost thought they took down a guy. Now, it probably would take a lot to take down these guys. They're a fearsome foe, you know? I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This is one heck of a ride, and I tell you, I can't wait to see what this new coming update has to offer. Oh, so that's what the ice breath was. It's from that guy. Because I remember the ice giant doesn't have that sort of attack, so that's what that is. Alright, that's pretty cool. I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm gonna do this. Peace out, everyone.